Hi guys, it's Michelle Patterson with Angel Souls, and this is your weekly Angel Oracle card reading for the week beginning March 9th, 2015. I'm going to be using, I think, a few decks this week because I couldn't figure out which one I wanted to use. So obviously we're going to pull the card from the Inisagol deck, the Secret Language of Color card deck, and I think I'm going to use Healing with the Fairies Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue, and then maybe pull a couple of cards from the Energy Oracle by Sandra Ann Taylor. Okay, now let's get going. First off, if you would like a personal reading, go to my website, angelsouls444.com, the services page. Please pay attention to the wait time because it might need to change here and there, okay? Let's get into it. It's been a very funny week. I see now why the angels were definitely telling us to be grounded. It's been moving and shaking for me, at least. And, you know, it's been more on an internal level. So, yeah, just really learning my lessons and stopping and asking myself, like, why is that irritating me? Why is that stressing me? What is it behind, what is it in my belief system that's making me think that that's going to turn out poorly? Do you know what I mean? So really getting myself in check and going, is this really something to be upset over, or am I coming from a certain angle that makes it worse? Does that make sense? Coming from a certain perspective, like always assuming things are going to go badly, or that someone's always out to get you. That sort of thing. All right, so let me get a couple of cards from this. So we're going to have more cards this week. Oop, there we go. And you can't see, but I have my Jesus candles lit. I have Buddha sitting here. Actually, you need to see Buddha. He's so cute. Not to diminish his importance. I don't know, can you see that? But this is my happy Buddha with his belly. I used to rub his belly every single morning before I went to work. I got out of that habit a little bit. But anyway, let's get into it. So we have Inner Power, Financial Flow, Magic of Nature, Follow Your Dreams, and then out of the Energy Oracle we have Community, which to me is all about celebration. Okay, this would feel like the Three of Cups in traditional tarot. So let me tune into this story. What you need is going to come to you. Everything you need is already within you. I'll hold up the cards here in a second. I just want to focus on the message coming through. Okay. It's very easy for us to get ourselves on lockdown because we have this whole outer world that has historically controlled us, right? And fed us information. And I don't want to get into it. Everybody has their opinion about who's in charge and why. But what it comes down to, at least for the energy of this week, is kind of what I was talking about at the top. Like, why are things stressing you out? Why are you thinking that you can't have what you want? Why are you thinking that maybe you're going to be alone for the rest of your life? Everything you need is within you, and that's where we begin this week with this Inner Power card. Okay, so getting back in touch with that. I feel like a few of us have probably fallen down in the past week. I know I did. You know, you guys, we all have things, you know, you guys know I'm human. So there were things that started to put me in a place of fear. And again, like I said, like, you have to look at that and go, what is that really about? Is it really that person that's making me fearful? Is it really that situation that's making me fearful? Or is it the way I'm filtering it in? And they just gave me the image of, like, so you have your inner self, and if you are in fear and you're blocking off your inner power because you think, like, if you let that open or you take the wall down, it's going to destroy you in some way. Things are coming in and they're bouncing back out. Things are coming in and they're bouncing back out. Now, okay, fine. So you've armored your inner power, your inner self, your soul from anybody or anything coming in and getting to you. But that's also going to cause opportunity to flow back out. Okay? It's going to cause love to flow back out. And guess what? You're living in that very thin, tight space of your persona and not being you. The real you is locked away. Got to make it better. Got to make it better. Unlock it, even if it's terrifying. Okay? Work through it. What this then does, these are all connected, but I'll hold them up one at a time. We have financial flow. And this can be one of the scariest things to not have. You know, when we don't have money, we think our livelihoods are threatened. We think that everything will fall apart if we don't have a certain salary or certain benefits or what have you. But I can assure you from personal experience that you can get by on less and live a very, very happy lifestyle, okay? So there's some concerns around money coming up this week. Let them be put to rest. Again, everything that you need is already within you, okay? Magic of nature. Magic of nature. They're saying that Mother Earth will let you know when she's not happy, right? She'll rise up, the energy will start kicking up in one way or another. That's how we have these natural disasters. Now, some of you out there might be going, well, what are you saying? Like, if we're in a place where there's a natural disaster, does that mean we brought it upon ourselves? No, it's not what I'm getting at. But I do think that that is Mother Nature being aggravated at times and trying to cleanse herself, or, you know, I don't know if this is like very cute or not, but when I lived in LA, the way I found comfort with those earthquakes, I cannot handle earthquakes for nothing, okay? Blizzards, hurricanes, those don't scare me as much as earthquakes do. But I always tried to just make it kind of cute by imagining that Mother Earth was just rolling over and trying to stretch a little bit, you know, and she's agitated. She's, you know, the fault lines are kind of like, you know, sliding against each other, and she's turning over, or whatever, however you want to look at that. But there is electricity in the air when there is a storm. What we're seeing reflected in nature is actually everything that's already occurring within us. Okay, so we have our inner storms. We have times where we're uncomfortable and we just need to shift and move and turn over. And yes, it might make your world rumble a little bit, but it's okay. At some point, it all settles down. And you're, you know, in a different place, and what needed to get cleared away got cleared away, and there's always room to build something brand new. All right, so yes, we could easily just say when a nature card comes up, well, that's you getting detoxified, that's you enjoying nature, taking care of nature, and if that's how that resonates with you, that's absolutely how you should take it. But this is more the message that is coming, filtering through me, is that Mother Nature is a bigger reflection, again, of what's happening within us, right? So when you observe what's happening in the cycles, those cycles happen within our own timeline. Does that make sense? Okay, so just being by being a little bit more observant, you can understand yourselves a little better. Okay, then we have this card that says follow your dreams. We're still in this lack mentality, right? We've been taught that everything that comes to you, you have to work really hard for it. It's going to be a struggle. If you're not struggling, you're not really you're not doing anything. Nothing worth having ever came easy, you know, all these kinds of mindsets. And what ends up happening? Well, you step back in fear and you end up procrastinating, okay? And saying, well, I don't have everything in line yet. I don't have the finances yet. For some of you, this is still sleeping, the inner power, right? So follow your dreams is saying the moment you decide that you can do it, the moment you just go, okay, you know what? I don't know how it's going to work out. I just know that I'm going to release any control over it. I'm going to release my belief system. That's one of you're going to be hearing us talking about that probably for years, because it's one of those things that we're trying to chip away at. Okay? This whole idea that there's a formula to success. Well, it worked for my father. Your dad was also, you know, becoming a big shot back in the day, probably. And we're not in that same energy. So what worked for previous generations probably will not work so well going forward. We're shifting in how we think and how we feel about things, okay? Now, again, I could go on and on about that because I feel like, you know, that could stir up people who are, you know, forward. They think of themselves as being forward thinking, and, you know, this is what we're talking about. We're trying to drag everybody into our mindset. What do I always say? Advocacy, not activism. You can't turn around and tell everybody else how to think or how to live, or that your way of living is better. It's not about that. It's about everybody finding their own way in their own good time. So please understand, like, wherever you are in this story, wherever you are in opening up your inner power, tapping into a new mindset, right? Getting into that new paradigm thinking that I can create everything that I want, right? And as long as I'm open and relaxed and I have faith, and I'm tuned in and I know when to take a step, that I'll be okay. No matter where you are with shifting, okay, to make those things happen for yourself, it's perfect. Even if you're one of those people out there going, I don't get anything that's going on here, that's okay. It's perfect right where you are. When it is time, you will understand, okay? Then we have this great card here. The number is 7. I like that number 7. And the card is community. And like I said before, this to me is almost like the 3 of Cups. So that's some celebration, something really magical opening up for you. Something, you see it. You finally see it. Let me get more on this. We've said this before. It's like turning on a light. You know, so your big revelation might not be so overt. And I've said that before too. It might be very subtle. But realizing that you already have so many things to celebrate. And we say that all the time too. Like, oh, you got to be in a space of gratitude. You have to. And that's true. But I think that can be dangerous for certain people because they go too far with it. You almost get into this like fake gratitude thing. Does that make sense? So like they're trying to fake it till you make it. No, you got to feel it. You have to really, truly understand that your life is to be celebrated. That nobody else can be doing what you're doing. No one else can look the way that you do, even if you're twins. All right? You're still carrying your own unique blueprint, your own unique vibration, and you are here with your own soul contract, your own mission, your own karma to pay off, okay? Nobody else can do what you do and how you're going to do it. I don't care where you are in life. That's changing that mindset that I was talking about. How do you define success? How do you define a miracle? You're a soul in a physical body walking around. If you just stop and think for a second, that's pretty cool, right? And just opening your eyes, turning on the light and going, man, this is a cool place that we're in right now. Okay, so we're all being characters on a stage right now. Okay, fine. Then if this is how I incarnated and this is who I'm supposed to be, then I'm going to be the best version of this because, again, I'm the only version of this. Okay? Celebrate that. And when you're in that place of celebration, when you kind of, quote unquote, get it, and that sort of diminishes how big this message is, I suppose, but when you get it and you turn on and the bricks from that wall start falling away, and now you're not just living in that teeny tiny space of your persona that we were all taught that we need to have in order to survive in this world, the inner power comes out. It shines out. The real you is here. Now you know how to proceed. Now you know what your dream is, maybe. It's more identifiable because now you're in touch with you. All the gifts of the universe, what you need in order to be you, will be provided for. Think of it as like sort of like God, source, creator is your boss. So when you do the work, you'll get paid. Sort of. Okay. Nature. Nature has been showing us how to live and the example to live by. And we have gotten so good at tearing it down and building what we think is the right reality. But you get back into nature, you get a little tuned in. Again, it doesn't have to be this big overt kind of thing. Just it's more about getting grounded and getting centered. Okay? And seeing the cycles. Again, this is coming up again too, like recognizing that your life is going to ebb and flow. Okay, you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. In the coming week, you might be so annoyed by everything that keeps occurring that you might be like, I am not getting out of bed, I've had it, no way. Then you know what, take the day off. It's okay, all right? You're going to ebb and flow. There are cycles, honor those cycles, all right? And you'll know, just by turning on the light, that there's so much to celebrate. It doesn't have to mean, it could be that you get that great job that you want, or someone tells you that they love you, or some friend does something wonderful for you, or you get a new home, or whatever. It could be something like that, but don't wait for that before you're celebrating. Celebrate right now. Things are good, even when they seem bad. All right? So, let me get into the color cards here. Okay, get a little tuned in here. we say this all the time. I feel like I'm just like repeating myself, but you have your support systems. And lean on the angels that make sense to you, okay? And you can just say, angels help. You don't need to make it complicated, especially if you're, you know, in a really bad space and you really don't know where to go, okay? Sapphire is the card. Regenerate your body, 38. I'm just tuning in. This feels... They keep, I know, again, they keep coming back to the cycles. So I guess it's going to mean something different to everybody out there. But Sapphire means a couple of things to me. So the card says regenerate your body. Yeah, regenerate your body. And this is, again, that connection to the earth, honoring your cycles, honoring that, you know, your body is not going to be what it was 2 years ago, all right? You might be in a very different space. Or regenerate your body means let go of some of your vices, some of the things that really are holding, because you're living in that tiny little persona. Well, what do? You get stressed out, you start leaning on food, alcohol, God forbid drugs, or, you know, codependent relationships or whatever, just for a sense of safety. But I really feel like this Sapphire card goes hand in hand with this inner power card. Again, working outside in, I guess, like with your physical body, once your physical body feels pretty good, you can be more tuned in, and that's why we always say you want to have a lighter diet, so you're not so dense, so that you can hear messages as they come in. But this to me is totally like third eye intuition. Okay, tapping into your inner knowing. Some of you are not honoring the guidance that your body is giving you. What are your aches and pains? Okay, let's keep on with the example of stress. If you're completely stressed out and your stomach is hurting and you're like maybe causing an ulcer, okay, well that would be like your solar plexus. That's your self-esteem. You know, not feeling, I mean, it's more than that, but the whole point here is to listen to that body and to not tumble over the messages it's trying to give you, getting more in tune with that inner compass. You don't have to live by the old rules, and that is the big message for this week. There are new ways to handle things, and that doesn't necessarily have to mean, you know, running off and getting into meditation. Meditation is a tool. It doesn't need to be a religion, okay? It is something, it's like working out your body. That's you working your mind, getting yourself into that calm, serene place, exercising that psychic muscle, your intuition, that third eye, which to me, again, is what that Sapphire card is actually saying. That way, you can just go out and live your life. And, you know, you don't have to make such an effort to live the right way, right? And you know what I'm talking about. You're out there, someone cuts you off in traffic, but you've been taught in your meditation classes or your yoga classes or whatever you do to not let that get to you. Don't let that get... You are human, okay? We're still in this 3D world, and I know so many of us want to like run for the hills, which would be 5D, but you're here for a reason. You're going to have moments where you're ticked off. But if you're exercising that psychic muscle, your intuition, you're getting more familiar with that sense of peace, just like working out your body, you might have that moment, but you'll recover a little more quickly, right? You might have that moment where you're just like, all these curse words you just want to say to that driver that cut you off, but you go, okay, I remember now, okay? Does that make sense? So it becomes second nature as opposed to something that occurs here. I shouldn't feel this way. I should be doing something else. What is that tool that helps me to get past this emotion right now? That's bypassing. Ain't gonna help you. You're not going to be any better the next time something like that occurs, okay? So letting it really be a part of who you become, right, on an authentic level, so that you can just live your life and not have to, again, leave one set of rules so that you can come into another set of rules. That doesn't make any sense. You're free of that now, okay? So a lot of good things coming to you guys this week. And if I swear to you, if you're one of the people sitting there going, well, the good thing that I wanted was that job, and I didn't get the job. As a matter of fact, I was told I didn't get the job, and, you know, like I wasn't going to ever get the job, and all this stuff, you're missing it. you're missing it. You're too focused on one little minute detail. Think of it in terms of the larger picture of your entire timeline. You may forget a few years from now that someone turned you down for a job. Well, why did that happen? Because it didn't matter. It didn't matter. That wasn't the thing for you. You know that. You weren't ready for it. Wasn't the right vibrational match for you. Move on, okay? So don't be so limited or try to, in your cerebral mind, define success in such limited terms, okay? I think that's it. Anyway, have a great week. I am sending you guys so much love. Take care.